Massive breakouts, new cycle highs, and some very important, perhaps cycle targets as well is what we're going to go over today in the top-down analysis of Shitcoin Sunday, going over Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. Not in that order. We'll even do a little bit of short-term Bitcoin as well. And also, before we get into it, I want to once again let people know, and I'll continue to show this because it is actually a quite good deal. There is 10% off of all of your trading fees offered with this link in the description below for bluffing, and it'll be for the lifetime of your account. And it's actually been going quite well. I think if it goes even more well, meaning that more people sign up to it, even if they don't use it, I think I'll be able to argue with their representatives for a bigger discount than that. And technically speaking, it does come back in cash back over here, but cash back on 10% cash back on your trading fees essentially amounts to 10% off of all of your trading fees as you just get that back into your account. And that applies to both your limit orders and market orders, which is something that just exchanges don't do anymore. So again, I will continue to show this kind of relentlessly just because I haven't seen a deal this good, and it is, I would like to use it. So I think that kind of speaks for itself. All right, sweet. Let's just jump right into it, starting off right in over here with Solana. For Solana, I do want to get my notes out. And yes, okay, so where do we want to start this one off? Let's start it off from top down, start off with the weekly. So over the past a couple months now since Solana put in this low here, very specifically in September, we were kind of marking this one up as saying, hey, there is a potential for a major reversal. In this case, this would be your trending move to the upside, your massive trading move to the upside. That obviously got confirmed a couple weeks later. And more importantly, we've just been generally looking for this one to kind of float up and to the right from there as all higher term time frames started to switch into an uptrend. In this case, the weekly time frame is confirming now a mega breakout, at least in the way that I look at things, similar to what we saw for Bitcoin actually. So this one kind of following a little bit after that, as we do see Solana resolving this consolidation, which began in March of this year with this move in the past couple of weeks. Now, what is confirming this move? One, price action. Two, volatility right here, represented by the BBWP indicator, getting back above 50 percentile. Whenever I see something like that after a long consolidation phase and compression phase on volatility, that is essentially saying, hey, your breakout's real. And then, of course, last week we identified this massive bullish engulfing dildo right here, which is just getting follow through on top of that as Solana trades above all major moving averages here. So the breakout, very much real. There should be a sort of relatively short-term time frame target based off of the width of this consolidation, which would actually be all the way up to 350. So I do believe that Solana is going to retest highs relatively soon, probably this month in November, and probably make new highs in December. Moving on from there, let me go to my next chart right here. Yeah, moving on from there, should also be known that monthly momentum is going to be freshly crossed the upside coming into December as well, assuming Solana remains above 180. So I think that's kind of likely. But hey, crazy things do happen, of course, in markets. And then the weekly time frame also showing upside momentum as long as Solana is in the short term above 173. Of course, there's going to be short-term time frame pullbacks here and there, but for right now, even the daily is just continuation, and we're very likely to get the double derp on daily BBWP with the double extreme. So we've already hit one extreme on that first breakout confirmation. This very likely may become a little bit lower and then pop back up, putting another extreme, and that should be the next sort of short-term high, if you will, before a bit of a daily consolidation. But for right now, daily, 5-day, weekly, monthly are all in trending motion, and any sort of short-term time frame pullbacks are just that, short-term time frame pullbacks, similar to what we saw in Bitcoin of its break from 70,000 or so. So even the full hour time frame right here is just continuation upwards and onwards. So yeah, looking quite good. Moving on to probably the next strongest one. Funnily enough, it's going to be XRP right here. A lot of people asked about this one in the last 24 hours because XRP having its, finally a move back above $1 after multiple years away from it. And in this case, the breakout here for this consolidation, which really began back in May of 2022, as this whole piece of price action right here is kind of related to each other in this compression phase, is being resolved as of yesterday, essentially. So while XRP has found a bit of a sell-off from this 133 region right here, which is very common to sell off from, your prior rejective highs, which is exactly what we saw right here. This should be, then again, you never know with XRP, but it should be an opportunity on this pullback, which could very easily come back down, by the way, to like even 93, 95 cents. But I would treat this breakout as real and in progress as long as XRP is especially above about 90 cents, or sorry, yesterday's low, which is 88 cents on a daily closing basis. If XRP comes back down below 88 cents and closes the daily below there, then it's going to go in a long list of failed breakout attempts for XRP. But ultimately, I do think that XRP likely does fall through here. The weekly jewel is about to get a fresh signal to the upside supported by the DMI. Weekly volatility, same sort of signal that we just saw on Solana. So, this very likely should get follow through to the prior highs here, which is essentially at $2 or so. When we go over here to our momentum charts, we can see that the monthly time frame is going to have fresh momentum to the upside, also potentially bucking a multi-year-long trend from 2017, the highs in 2017. And this is, again, what you do expect during, in this case, like a macro breakout. And it's going to show upside momentum as long as XRP is above 51 cents. So assuming things don't dump down literally before the end of the month in just under 2 weeks below 51.5 cents, which I do think is a bit unlikely, even for XRP, we're likely to see fall through here. You're very likely to see $2 relatively soon, or 209 $2. And then XRP, could have a real chance to actually do the macro breakout, which if it ever is going to do it, this would be it, I suppose. Maybe in like early 2024, and targets can be kind of crazy. There is technically an ascending triangle going on right here, which is just a reaccumulation formation, and there is an implied target from that. Let me actually do this right. It seems a little bit too aggressive from what I'm looking at, but I guess that is that. So fair enough. That would be pointed up towards $10. I don't know if I believe that, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. Okay, am I doing something wrong here though? Like that seems way too much. Yeah, okay, I'm doing this on the log scale. Hold on, let me do this on linear scale. This is gonna make a little bit more sense. Okay, well, still pretty crazy, but about 3.5, 369 ish region. Again, I'm just relaying the news, as far as what the charts are saying. But I mean, technically speaking, it is in there, and ascending triangles are probably one of the better pattern formations, if there is any good pattern formations. But of course, that's not even relevant, by the way, until XRP very importantly closes above $2 on a higher term time frame, like a weekly minimum. So it's got a long way to go there, but so far so good. And again, if there ever was a time for XRP, this would be a weekly momentum, also showing fresh to the upside as long as XRP is above 88 cents closing tonight. So it's looking likely to me. It's looking likely. Then again, I've seen XRP fail so many rallies. You never know. Speaking of failed rallies, let's talk about some Ethereum right here. Ethereum, I have the real analysis right in front of your face. There she is. Ethereum, I can't pump. Just take that all in. Mr. Vitalik loves that one. Vitalik Butyrol. Anyways, as far as the price action analysis goes, instead of the PP analysis, we do see that Ethereum, again, did hit our target from last week's video, right around 32.27, selling off from there. Again, very common to pull back from a rejective high. You're seeing the exact same thing right here. Can pull back very easily a little bit more to 29.35 if it wants to. Not saying that it's going to, but it very easily could, or even low 29. But ultimately, we shouldn't really expect Ethereum to be closing below there if this breakout is going to be real. 5-day jewel says up, weekly jewels not as strong, but also says up. Again, similar sort of formation here as we saw in Solana, just not as strong with that weekly high or low, just getting follow through above all major moving averages. Volatility not expanding to any sort of relevant levels for a major breakout just yet, so I do suspect that it is going to be short-term consolidation. And if we go over here to the weekly and the monthly, it should have another chance to the upside after the short-term consolidation. Weekly momentum remains to the upside above 2,500 today. today, and monthly, well, monthly is actually still down below 35.80. So I mean, it's a tough one for Ethereum. Just one more time. One more time for Ethereum. Oh, she's beautiful. She's very beautiful. I like Vitalik face in the background here. Massive dong, by the way. I saw the picture. Very, very impressive. Anyways, let's see. Let's go on to some Bitcoin action now. Bitcoin analysis, very simple here. 5-day time frame just closed recently for spot price action. I do think it's possible we might see a pullback down to 86.200. I wouldn't necessarily be counting on that. I do think that Bitcoin's going to have a real chance to break out to 6 digits from here in the next 2 to 3 periods on the 5-day time frame. So that would be obviously 10 to 15 days. Actually more like 20 days, 15 to 20 days from this time. So perhaps later this month or early December. Keep in mind how CME closed this week out. Again, weekend price action is more or less irrelevant in my experience. With the way that CME closed here on Friday, closing on the highs, off of hidden bullish divergence, even on a short-term time frame like the 4-hour right here, this just looks like continuation. So we got the pullback on Bitcoin. After pullback, then back up is what it looks like to me. How will you know if I'm wrong on that? You'll see Bitcoin close back below about 90,000 on a 4-hour time frame for CME specifically after it opens. Right now it's trading above 92, by the way. And if that does happen, then yeah, Bitcoin can come back down to test those 86 lows. That's fine, but or maybe even all the way down to 84 as we looked at right here. I mean, technically speaking, or sorry. No, that would be 86. Yeah, 86. I don't think that things. I think that if things come much lower than there, especially on a closing basis, then something else is happening, and we're going to play at a greater pullback. But for now, again, like just intuitively, I think most people understand this. And if you don't, well, it's time for the lobotomy. But look, Bitcoin spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months in a sideways range. 8 months in a sideways range. We're now 1 to 2 weeks. Well, we're 2 weeks into this breakout. Bitcoin typically does like to at least take rests after like 2 big weeks up, but it doesn't mean that it has to. 2 weeks up, rest. 2 weeks up, rest. 2 weeks up, rest. 2 weeks up, rest. Not always, not like a hard rule. Obviously, I'm sure there's some exceptions. Actually over here, plenty of exceptions. But I think that this could be an exception as well. Again, 8 months is like, that's very, very long for Bitcoin. You don't see that. Like usually you see consolidations of like 3 to 4 months. In this case, it's double that, more than double that. So I suspect that this one has more to go. Does it continue this week? Maybe, maybe not. Does it continue the week after that? If it doesn't continue this week, probably yes. Again, my validation is going to be a 5-day closure below 86,000 bucks very specifically. If you see that, okay, something else going on. Consider greater pullback, but breakout looks real. Yeah. That's going to do it for today's video. I want to say a massive thank you for joining on in with the weekly Q&A session yesterday. It's pretty damn fun. I see that we've already got a new thread and it's going quite well over here. Let me just quickly show that for the people who might have missed it yesterday. But if you want to join on in for the weekly Q&As, all you need to do is just join the link in the description below for Discord. It's 100% free to join, and you just need to find the Cave video content section and the current week for the weekly Q&A, and then you can post in there if you so desire. If you can't figure out that, then it is definitely time for the lobotomy. Please stop emailing Else about that. Holy shit. Just use your eyes. sorry, but for real, like, she's very busy. And again, it's very simple, very, very simple. Just look on the left-hand side here. Oh, you actually can't see my cursor. Maybe that's confusion. Yeah. Left-hand side, K video content, press the drop down, and then go to the weekly Q&A. Amazing. All right. That's where we're going to end things for today. As always, I'd like to wish you the best of best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully Monday.